Michael Jackson and Elvis Presley are often compared as two of the greatest and most influential artists in the history of popular music, though their styles and impacts were distinct. Determining who was bigger depends on the criteria, whether it's influence, cultural significance, album sales, or longevity. Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll. Elvis, who burst onto the scene in the mid-1950s, revolutionized popular music with his fusion of country, rhythm and blues and gospel, becoming a central figure in the birth of rock and roll. His first major hit, Heartbreak Hotel, 1956, shot him to stardom, and his charismatic stage presence, with his gyrating dance moves, shocked conservative audiences while captivating young fans. He was among the first true megastars of the television era, starring in movies and performing on shows that reached massive audiences. Elvis had an astounding career that included 18 #1 singles in the US and over 1 billion records sold globally. His iconic style, a mix of rebellious rock star and southern charm, made him a cultural icon. He was not only a musician but also a film star, appearing in more than 30 films. Even after his death in 1977, Elvis's legacy continued to grow, and Graceland, his home, became a pilgrimage site for fans. Elvis is often credited with paving the way for the future of popular music and for breaking racial barriers by bringing black musical influences to white audiences. Michael Jackson, the king of pop. Michael Jackson, meanwhile, revolutionized pop music in the late 20th century. Beginning his career as a child in the Jackson 5 in the 1960s, Michael's solo career took off in the 1970s, culminating with his groundbreaking 1982 album, Thriller. This album became the best-selling album of all time, with over 66 million copies sold worldwide. His impact on music videos, especially through Thriller, Billie Jean and Beat It, redefined the music video as a visual art form and promotional tool. His dance moves, like the moonwalk, became globally recognized. Michael Jackson was also a transformative live performer, and his concerts were legendary spectacles. He pushed boundaries of genre, blending pop, rock, R&B, and dance music. Jackson's influence extended beyond music to philanthropy, fashion, and global activism. By the time of his death in 2009, Jackson had won 13 Grammy Awards and sold over 400 million records globally. His Bad, Dangerous, and History tours attracted millions of fans, making him a global cultural ambassador for American music. Who was bigger in terms of influence? Elvis was pivotal in shaping the early development of rock and roll and to breaking barriers in music, but his influence was largely concentrated in the 1950s and 1960s. Michael Jackson's influence extended over several decades and across the world, shaping pop music, dance, and the visual aesthetics of music videos in ways that persist today. In terms of sales and records, Michael Jackson's Thriller is the best-selling album of all time, and he sold more records globally, estimated at over 400 million, compared to Elvis, estimated at 500 million, but often debated. Elvis, however, has the distinction of being a trailblazer in a time when record sales and distribution were far less global. In terms of cultural reach, Elvis was seen as a groundbreaking artist who helped popularize rock and roll in America, influencing a generation of musicians that followed, including the Beatles. Michael Jackson, on the other hand, was a global icon whose fan base spanned continents and included a diverse mix of audiences across racial and cultural lines. Conclusion: while Elvis Presley laid the foundation for modern popular music and remains an enduring symbol of rock and roll, Michael Jackson's career had a more far-reaching global impact, revolutionizing pop music, dance, and visual culture on a scale that Elvis did not reach. Both are titans, but Michael Jackson's artistic versatility, longevity, and global influence may give him the edge as the bigger artist. Thank you for watching Topics on Trend. Go ahead and check out another trending video on our channel here.